ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। 8th chapter, first श्लोका। अथ अष्टमोऽध्यायः। अर्जुन उवाच किं तद्ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मम् किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम् अधिदैवं किमुच्यते अधियज्ञः कथं कोत्र देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन प्रयाणकाले च कथं ज्ञेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अक्षरं ब्रह्म परमं स्वभावोऽध्यात्ममुच्यते भूतभावोद्भवकरः विसर्गः कर्मसंज्ञितः। Arjuna asked questions and Bhagavan is going to give the answer. 7 questions are asked. And the first question was, what is Brahma? So in Vedanta you keep hearing Brahma, Brahma, Brahma. What is that Brahman? So Brahman is Aksharam Paramam, the highest imperishable reality is called Brahma. The truth behind everything, the truth behind the entire universe, which is existence, consciousness, that is called Brahma. The whole Vedanta is for Brahman only. So what I am telling is very, very brief presentation. The whole 1 year, 2 year, 3 years people study this Brahman only. But what can be said in so many shlokas, so many texts can be told in one sentence that Brahman is the ultimate, highest reality of the entire universe, which is of the nature of existence. The reality whose nature is to be and consciousness to be the basis for all knowledge. Everything is illumined because of whom is this reality. That is Brahman, the truth behind the universe. And Swabhavo Dhyatma Muchyate. Swabhavaha here refers to the inner self. The inner self, the truth of the individual is called Swabhava here, and that is Adhyatmam, the reality related to the individual. The reality related to the individual is called Swabhavaha, otherwise called Atma, Pratyagatma, the inner self. So the inner self is called Adhyatmam. And the vision of Vedanta is the truth behind the entire universe is the same as the truth behind the individual. That is what the speciality of Vedanta, which is presented by Mahavakya. Mahavakya means the great sentence. What does it say? The truth behind you, the individual, which is called Atma, is the same as the truth behind the entire universe. In other words, you as really you are the truth of the entire universe. You are the truth of entire universe. But what happens, when we hear this, we think, Swamiji, this is too much. I am the truth of the entire universe. Why you have resistance? Because you remain in the body, mind, sense complex. You don't come out of this house of this body, mind, sense complex. And therefore you have some resistance. And is understandable. But this is the vision of Vedanta. And now up to this we had seen. Now the next one is Bhuta Bhava Udbhava Karaha Visargaha Karma Sangnitaha. The third question was, what is karma? Adhibhutam cha kim proktam? Then kim karma purushottama? What is the karma? Karma literally means action. And contextually, in this context, Bhagavan says karma in the form of scriptural activities. Like the ritual you do, fire ritual, some homa you do, some dhanam you do, which is called visargaha. Visarga means offering. Offering some material along with mantra into the fire, which is called yajnaha. That yajna, visargaha, is karmaha, is called karma sangnitaha, has the name karma. So when a person does some offering into the fire, addressing to Bhagavan, that is called karma. So visarga, offering of the material to the totality, is called karma. And this visarga is bhuta bhava udbhava karaha. Udbhava kara means is responsible for brings about bhava utpatti, the rise, the birth of all living beings. So all living beings are born because of this karma. And udbhava has got another meaning, that is vruddhi. So that which brings about the birth and the expansion, the growth of all living beings is karma. So this is purely based on the description given in the Shastra. That when a person does some offering ritual, then it creates some punyam, and that punyam is remaining in the Surya Devata, and that gets manifested in the form of rain. And from the rain, this crop, the grains are born. From grains, this human being, the male seed and female seed are born, and from that, these living beings are born. So the rituals are responsible for the birth of all beings. And not only for birth, they are responsible for the growth of all beings. You grow because you are eating something. If you don't eat, you don't grow. And thus, these yajna are responsible for annam, food, and food is responsible for the birth and the growth of all living beings. Therefore, this visarga is called bhuta bhava udbhava karaha, is karma. So, what is karma? Karma is that which is responsible for birth and growth of all living beings and which is in the form of offering something. So any creation, anywhere it is there, somebody must have offered something. Without offering, there is no creation, there is no growth. This is based on the scriptural description. But in general also we can say any action which gives rise to punyam and papam, and that action is responsible for the creation. In fact, in this world, whatever you are confronting is because of the result of the punyam and papa you have done. Right now, this is the world for you. You are listening to a Swami, this is the world for you. How did you get this world? Because of some punyam you have done. And if you are not liking this talk and it's a torture for you, it is the result of some papam for you. Both. It depends. If you like it, it is a result of punyam. If you don't like it and still you have to stay back because you have come with somebody and that person you cannot antagonize, therefore you have to sit through the whole class. Somehow manage seeing here and there. Then what? It is a papa fellow. So this is very interesting thing. One and the same situation can be the result of punyam for some people, can be result of papa. The rain. Some people say rain, Swamiji, my whole plan is spoiled. So it is a result for your papa. And some people say, oh, I am enjoying nature so much. This rain, I really love it. The result of punya. So any karma which is giving rise to different situations in the world is called here karma. Any action giving rise to creation of different things is called karma. That is why in our Shastra, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it says that not only Ishvara is the creator, Jiva also is co-associate, like a partner. So Jiva is a co-associate in creation of this world. How? Jiva contributes to the creation of the world by his karma. Why Bhagavan is creating the world? Because Jiva has got punyam and papa. If Jiva's punya papas are not there, Bhagavan will be jobless. Doesn't have job. It's like customers are only responsible for the production. If customers are not there, what will happen? Production will stop. Similarly, we jivas are also responsible for the creation. This is a very healthy attitude. It's a understanding which gives rise to healthy attitude. So there is no basis for complaining anything. Whatever you are facing in your life is the result of some karma. So better you learn to handle it well rather than blaming somebody for it. So this is the understanding given regarding karma. Then the next one is answering few more questions. Adibhutam ksharo bhavaha purushashchadidaivatam adiyajnohamevatra dehe dehavritambara. So Bhagavan says, Adibhutam ksharo bhavaha. He is answering the question. Adibhutam cha kim proktam. What is Adibhutam? Here Adibhutam means related to living beings. Prani jatam adhikritya bhavati. That which is remaining, that which remains related to all living beings. And what is that? Ksharaha bhavaha. The perishable beings, otherwise called the world. So the world is called adhibhutam. Why? Because it is the one which is related to the living beings. In this universe, nothing is created without any purpose. Everything you see, for you it may be useless, but it has got some purpose. The virus Swamiji, why created? Viruses are created so that some people will earn some this medical bill, and others others will suffer. See, doctors will earn how? Because there is a virus. Therefore, one doctor was telling that summer is not a good season for us. Why? Because in summer viruses are not so much bacteria. For them, monsoon is very good because the bacteria will be more active. So bacteria are also created. Why? Because some people have to exhaust their punyam, some people have to exhaust their papa. See what a grand scheme. In one situation, some people's punya are exhausted, some people papas are exhausted. The COVID time it happened. COVID time many people earned lot of money, many people lost lot of money. In fact, many people say that Swamiji, COVID was such a blessing. Because of COVID only we started attending Vedanta class. So this is there. They were so regular. Online classes were so much in demand. So many people, they learn how to cook, etc., how to clean the house. All these are learned. Otherwise, they were not doing anything. So everything is related to living beings. Therefore, the ksharaha bhavaha, perishable being, living beings and non-living beings. In other words, the world is called adhibhutam. So the entire world is adhibhutam. Then what is adhidevatam? The one who is presiding over all the deities. We have so many devatas. What is this devata? Devata is the Lord seen from a particular angle. For example, there is a rain. So rain is one aspect of creation. When you look upon the Lord from the standpoint of rain, we call him Indra Devata or Varuna Devata. When you look upon the Lord from the standpoint of power of seeing, you call it Aditya Devata. So, Devata is the Lord seen from a particular angle. And also Devata refers to the entity, a living being which is associated with that aspect of the Lord. It is something like a ministry. Devata is a ministry and every ministry will have minister. So Devata is somewhat like minister which is associated with particular ministry which is one aspect of creation. Like rain department of Ishvara will be presided over, associated with one particular special living being. That being will be called Indra Devata. So Devata word is used in two ways. One is the Lord himself seen from a particular angle is Devata, and a particular living being associated with that particular aspect of nature, the creation, he is called Devata. You also can become a Devata. If you want, if you do some japa, etc., you can become Indra Devata, Vayu Devata, Agni Devata. Doesn't it look possible? But it is there. The only thing whether you would like to become. You also can become now Agni Devata. In fact, Shastra says you have become. As a Jiva, you have taken so many births, so many bodies, and once upon a time you might have gone to Swarga also. There you might have become Indra Devata, Vayu Devata. So, Adhidevatam means the one who is presiding over all the Devatas. And what is that? Purushaha. Here Purusha refers to Hiranyagarbha is a technical word. Hiranyagarbha is reality, Brahman, seen with the total subtle body, is called Hiranyagarbha. We have three words: Brahman, Paramatma, seen with the entire gross universe, is called Virat, otherwise called Vishwarupa. And same Paramatma seen with the entire subtle body, subtle universe, then it is called Hiranyagarbha. And Paramatma seen with the entire causal universe, he is called Ishvaraha or Antaryami. So Hiranyagarbha is the Paramatma seen with the entire subtle universe. And that Hiranyagarbha is presiding over all the devatas. And Adhiyajnaha, the one who is presiding over the ritual, giving the result of the ritual, is called Adhiyajnaha. Who is that? Bhagavan says, Ahameva. I, Vishnu alone, am Adhiyajnaha. So here Bhagavan says, Ahameva, he is not telling as Mr. Krishna. He is telling this Aham, I, as Vishnu. So I, Vishnu, am Adhiyajnaha. Who is Vishnu? Vishnu is the sustainer of the universe. Paramatma seen as the sustainer is called Vishnu. So Paramatma does three jobs: creation, sustenance and dissolution. In English also they say like this: G-O-D is there, generation, operation and destruction or dissolution. God means that. Generator, operator, dissolver is God. So one who is doing the job of operation of the sustenance of this world, he is called Vishnu. That is why Vishnu is more popular. Why? Because creation has already happened. So Brahmaji has done his job. Now who is in the position of power? Vishnu. And also one more thing is that why Vishnu is more important? Because creation of something is not that difficult as the maintenance is. All of you know that? Yes. Maintenance of anything is so problem. See, building the ashram is not that difficult. Difficult but not that difficult. But maintenance of the ashram very difficult. I know it. First hand experience. It's difficult. Anything. Marriage itself is not difficult, but maintaining the married life very difficult. How many things you have to take care? So it is like that. Everywhere maintenance is very, very important and difficult. Therefore, Vishnu is very considered to be very important, worshipable. That Vishnu is Adhiyajnaha. He is the sustainer of the entire universe, and for the sustenance of the universe, yajnas, the dedicated action is very important. And Bhagavan Vishnu says, I alone am present as Adhiyajnaha, presiding over every ritual. And where am I? I am present Dehe, in the body. Very nice thing. Bhagavan Vishnu is present in the body. How do you say he is present in the body? He should be present in the ritual? No, Bhagavan says, I am present in the body through which alone a yajna is done. There is no yajna activity apart from the body. Without body, yajna is not there. Since yajna is done by the body alone, and therefore Bhagavan says, I am present in the body, presiding over the yajna. It's a very nice thing to know that when you are doing any ritual or even ritual like any activity, that time Bhagavan is present in your body and immediately keeping the record. So you need not worry that I did this so much ritual, whether Bhagavan has registered or forgot. Sometimes it happens, no, that you have credited but the person forgot to do the entry. So That type of thing doesn't happen. Immediately it is registered, Bhagavan is present in the body itself. So as a karmadhyaksha, one who presides over all actions, Bhagavan said, I am present in the body of everyone. So Vishnu, Bhagavan said, I, Vishnu alone, am Adiyajnaha, present in everybody. And Bhagavan is addressing Arjuna, Deha Bhrutam Vara. You are the best among the holder of the body. Means you are the best human being. So thus Bhagavan is glorifying Arjuna. That is the approach of every teacher. Teacher should address the student in a very inspiring manner. Teacher should not say, oh idiots, why you have come here? He should not say like this, oh idiots, you will not understand. That is not a right way of saying. Oh brilliant ones, you will definitely understand this. That is how we should say. Sometimes I see in one Pathshala, the teacher, he will say, this student doesn't know how to chant. Anyway, let him try. He will not do correct. You already branded. The many teachers have this problem. They say that this person will not do well. And he keeps on telling, he will not do well, he will not do well, he will not do well. And the student himself hears this. Already he loses confidence. So it is proper on the part of the teachers or parents to address the child or the student in an inspiring manner. If you tell you are useless, 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 your child will prove it to be true. Because you are telling him useless, useless. Okay, I will prove you right. So you tell that you have got great potential. You can do wonders. You have capacity. I know you have done. You can do it. So Bhagavan is addressing Arjuna, Deha Bhrutam Bara, the best among the holders of the body, the possessors of the body, all human beings. Thus, Bhagavan gave the answer that what is Brahma? The truth of everything is Brahman. What is this Adhyatmam? The truth of the individual is Adhyatmam. Then what is the karma? It is the ritual which is, or any action which is sustaining the universe. What is Adhibhutam? It is the entire universe. What is Adhidevatam? It is the Hiranyagarbha. And Adhiyajna, Bhagavan said, I Vishnu alone. So by this, one important message is given that one and the same Paramatma, Satyam Gnanam Anantam, Satchidananda Paramatma alone is there as Brahma. He alone is there as this Atma. He alone is there in the form of the entire universe. He alone is there as the Hiranyagarbha. He alone is there as Adhyayana. This is the beauty of Vedanta. One and the same Paramatma is available as Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. The individual, the entire universe and Ishvara. All three of them are the manifestation of one and the same reality. Ekatvam, there is only oneness. There is a fundamental oneness. Science is struggling to have some unified force. They could reach up to 4. This gravity, electromagnetic, then strong force and weak force. They could not reach 1. Whereas we have been talking about oneness since time beginningless. There is only one reality which is appearing as all. Alright. Now, 6 questions have been answered. Now, the 7th question he is going to answer elaborately. 6 questions he answered in 2 verses. 3 questions he answered in the 3rd shloka, 3 questions he answered in the 4th shloka. Now for the 7th question, he is going to talk from the 5th shloka up to the last 28 shloka. So 24 shlokas, he is going to talk about this last question, answering the last question. And what was the last question? Prayana kale cha katham jneyosi niyatatmabhihi. How you are to be understood, remembered, thought over at the time of death? And that particular question is elaborated in this section of the chapter. The fifth sloka. Antakale cha mameva स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरम् यः प्रयाति समद्भावम् याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः. So Bhagavan says, Antakale cha mam eva smaran muktva kalevaram. Antakale, at the time of the end of one's life, Mameva Smaran, remembering me, appreciating me alone. Kalevaram Muktva, having given up this body. Yaha Prayati, one who departs. Saha Madbhavam Yati, he attains oneness with me, my status. Atra na samshayaha, here there is no doubt whatsoever. So here Bhagavan is telling important thing, that if a person appreciates me, remembers me, even at the time of death, then he will become one with me. This can be seen in two ways. If a person has understanding of himself being one with Paramatma, and that understanding continues throughout his life, at the end also, when the body is falling, that time also this understanding will be there. I am Paramatma. Aham Brahmasmi. Shivoham Soham. And naturally, that person will attain oneness with Paramatma. This is one way of seeing this shloka. That a wise person, he appreciates oneness with Paramatma up to the end of his life, and the last moment also he will have this appreciation, he attains Paramatma. But wise person does not have such rule that he has to think in a particular way, last minute he has to do soham, soham. If he does not do soham, then he will not get moksha. That is not the case. Wise person, because of his wisdom alone, he is free when he got the wisdom. His Jivan Mukti and Videya Mukti are already booked. Therefore, he doesn't have to think about that. But this is how generally it will happen, that he has appreciated himself to be Paramatma throughout his life, so he will do it. But if he consciously does not do, it doesn't matter. In his background, in the background of his mind, this appreciation will always be there. I am not separate from Paramatma, I am one with Paramatma. This is one way of seeing this shloka. Another way which is going to be elaborated, and that is, a person has done upasana, meditation on Saguna Brahma, Ishvara, as Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Vishnu, and he remembers Paramatma throughout his life, and at the end also he remembers Paramatma. And here we don't mean that person has to remember Mameva means, some people, some organization will say Mameva means you have to remember Krishna alone. We are not particular about that. You can remember Bhagavan in any form. You can remember Bhagavan in the form of Devi. You can remember in the form of Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Ganesha. There is no problem whatsoever. But you remember Paramatma in any form. We do not have this quarrel that which Bhagavan is greater. Some people do this. Because of their immaturity, they will say that Ganesha is greater or Hanumanji is greater. So they will have some song also. So Ganeshika, Nevedya is high, Hanumanji is high, like this. Really speaking, that type of fight is because of immaturity. Many people have this quarrel between the Shiva and Vishnu. If there are some Vaishnavites, they will not go to Shiva temple. They in Shastra there is a shloka for their and from their side one shloka is Hastina Pidyamanopi Nagachet Shiva Mandiram. Means even if you are chased by elephant and if you go to Shiva temple you will be saved, but still you should not go. Means even at the cost of your life you should not go to Shiva temple. In Gujarat there is a saying that in Gujarati teaching is called Shiva. Shiva means teaching. So he said you should not use even the word Shiva for teaching. You should use some other word. Roundabout you should tell. You know that thread you do something like that you have to tell. Shiva word you should never chant. So fanatic people are. And that is because of immaturity. It is something like an actor is playing the role of a king in one movie and another movie is playing the role of a minister or even a beggar. The actor is the same. Similarly, one and the same Paramatma appears as Shiva, Vishnu, etc. In fact, there are some shlokas which says that those who make the division between Shiva and Vishnu, they will be cursed as it were. So they should never make any difference. Don't say that Vishnu is greater, Shiva is greater, I will not worship Shiva, I am a Vishnu Bhakta, or I am a Shiva Bhakta, so I will not worship Vishnu. That type of immaturity we should not and we need not entertain. Any form you remember, every form is a Lord's form. One name of Vishnu is Shiva. So Vishnu himself is called Shiva. And therefore Shiva and Vishnu, there is no difference whatsoever. And only thing is, at the time of death, Mameva Smaran. So if a person has done Upasana throughout his life and he remembers at the end also, then he will become one with that Ishvara. So Mam, Shivam, Vishnum, Parameshwaram, Smaran, remembering one who leaves his body, he becomes one with that Ishvara. So he will attain Shiva Loka, he will attain this Vishnu Loka, whatever Loka. He becomes one with the form of the worship, the form which he has worshipped throughout his life. So if a person has worshipped Vishnu, then he goes to Vishnu Loka and becomes one with Vishnu. If he has worshipped Shiva, then he goes to Shiva Loka and he becomes one with Shiva. And we should not really think that Shiva Loka is in the eastern direction and this western direction. One and the same loka, which is technique in the Shastra, it is called Brahma Loka. To Shiva Bhakta, that Brahma Loka will be experienced as this Shiva Loka. For Vishnu Bhakta, that Brahma Loka will be experienced as Vaikuntha. There is no difference in that. So whatever is your devotion, based on that, that Loka will be experienced accordingly. Address is the same. Only depending upon your karma, it will be experienced in that manner. So that person, having remembered Paramatma, he becomes one with Paramatma. And Bhagavan says, Atra samshayah nasti. In this regard, there is no doubt. Why Bhagavan says like this? Because doubt is possible. That how do you say that I will go to Shiva Loka? Whether aeroplane, rocket or how? What will be the means used? Bhagavan said, don't doubt about this. You need not entertain any doubt. It is a Shastra Pramanam. I myself am telling, Atra Samshayana. Any sadhana, especially the scripture based sadhana, is possible only when Shraddha is there. If Shraddha is not there, how can you do sadhana? You do japa. Why? Because you have got some Shraddha that japa will bless me. The Devata whose japa I'm doing will bless me. So Shraddha is not there, then phalam will not be there. So any scripture based activity you do it with Shraddha. Any ritual you do it with Shraddha. Then only you will have complete result. Otherwise, result will not come or result will be deficient. So what a funny thing. You do the ritual and you don't have Shraddha, so in spite of doing it, you will not get complete result. Because the result of karma is not merely decided by physical action and the material, it is decided also by bhavana. Yadrishi bhavana yasya siddhir bhavati tadrishi. The result, accomplishment of the result is based on the bhavana. Therefore, bhavana means attitude should be proper. And this attitude comprises of Shraddha and Bhakti. So Bhagavan said, Atra samshaya na. In English also there is saying, no, that doubting Thomas doesn't get anything. So doubting Thomas means everything doubtful. I am doing the ritual, but whether it will help me or not. What is the scientific proof? There is no scientific proof for the result of the ritual you are doing. People are doing all research because they do not understand how Shastra operates. Shastra doesn't operate based on the scientific experiment. Shastra operates at the level of the subtle result called punyam. Punyam can never be seen in any laboratory. It is not that some chemicals you put and some punya will precipitate. That is not that. It's not the result of any chemical physical reaction. So it is operating at different level, which cannot be figured out by any scientific instrument. So atra samshaya na. So Bhagavan said, if you remember me, you will attain me. And now Bhagavan said, this is a general rule. Whatever you remember, you will attain that. That is said in the next shloka. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tantamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitah. See, here Bhagavan gives general rule. He says, if you remember me, you will attain me. And now I am telling, whatever you remember, that you will become in next Janma. And in this connection, we generally tell the story of Bharata. Bharat Raja, he was a great king, and after some time he retired, gave his kingdom to his son, and he went to the forest. That was our tradition. Nowadays, people remain grahastha till the last day of their life. In olden days, it was not like this. After a certain time, this person retires, hands over everything to the son, and he retires to the forest or forest-like situation called Vanaprastha life. So he became Vanaprastha, and he was doing his sadhana, he was doing upasana, he was doing Sandhya Vandanam, whatever minimum rituals required, he was doing. But one day he saw that this deer, female deer, she was having the baby inside, and she jumped seeing the lion, and she died, and the baby came out. And that baby deer was taken by this Bharata. Compassion. It is a good thing he did. See, human nature, compassion. So he took care of that baby deer. And then slowly it grew up. And now Bharata developed the attachment to this deer. Deer become very dear. And now, even he is doing Sandhya Vandanam, he will keep eyes in between the japa also, he will keep eye open and see where is it. Has it run away? Some tiger has taken away something. So now his concentration was broken. And like that, he was distracted from his sadhana. See, imagine, he left his wife, his children, his kingdom, everything. Big things he left and small things he got trapped. That's what happens to some people. Big things they leave, small things they get trapped. So this is what happened to him. So he got trapped emotionally with this deer. And then what happened that he was dying. At that time also, he was seeing this deer. So he looked at the deer. What will happen to this deer after I die? What will happen? Deer, deer, deer died. So deer was his last thought. Therefore, in next Janma, what he became? Deer. That is what is said here. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Whichever entity you think, whichever entity one thinks, and ante, at the end, kalevaram tyajanti. He gives up his body. Remembering whichever entity a person gives up the body, then tam tam eva eti. To that entity alone one will attain. Why? Sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Because he is always saturated with the thought of that entity. So, antakale ya matihi sa tasya gatihi. Whatever is your thought at the end, that will decide the next janma. Therefore, people generally they keep some picture in front of them so that hopefully they will remember Krishna, Rama, etc. I tell you, it is not easy to remember Paramatma at the end. I have seen that somebody was dying and people would say Rama, 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 cannot say Rama. If you have not that Rama, Rama throughout your life, you cannot do Rama at the end. So you cannot have cheating with Bhagwan. You cannot do cheating. That whole life I will enjoy and last minute I will just remember Bhagwan, Bhagwan, Bhagwan and get Bhagwan. Like we have done in the exam, that whole life, whole year we have gala time and then at the end that we study and get passed. So there it was okay, but here with Bhagwan that is not allowed. Bhagwan doesn't allow that. Therefore Bhagwan said, Sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Person can remember that entity because his mind has been saturated throughout his life. So whatever is predominant thought, that will come at the end. That thought will come at the end. And whatever comes at the end will decide the next life. And therefore what? From now onwards itself, start remembering Paramatma so that you can remember at the end, which will help you to attain Paramatma. Otherwise, if you are busy with money, busy with his children, wife, etc., then you will be again born to them. Some people are too much worried about their property and all. So worried, what will happen? So in the next Janma, they will become dog in the same property. Because dog will protect, no? So I want to protect my property. So born as a dog. Or sometimes born as a snake, etc., protecting the treasure. So therefore, do all other things, but try to remember Ishvara as much as possible, as many times as possible. Do activity, but in the background there is Bhagavad Smarana. But Swamiji, how it is possible that thought is of Bhagavan in doing the activities? See, when you are worrying, whole day you are worrying, you are doing other activities or not? Even though mentally you are worrying, still you are doing activities. So how do you manage worrying about your brother, father, sister, whatever? Still you are doing the activities. If worrying you can do the activities, remembering also you can do the activities. Only you have to just replace the worries by Bhagavad Smaranam, Ishvara Smaranam. And that idea is highlighted. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti